at you live from Brainerd, Minnesota. We're at City Hall today. And if you unable to upload thumbnail, I'll be danged. Didn't upload my thumbnail. Huh. Anyways, we're at Brainerd City Hall today. And we're here today to ask the city administrator some questions about public data and police misconduct. For those of you that saw my live last week, Johnny Bravo, how's it going, buddy? For those of you that saw my live last week, it says my thumbnail didn't upload, so that's kind of strange, Johnny. But anyways, for those of you that saw my live last week, you saw that I made an appointment with the city administrator to talk to her about some public data that's being withheld from me. And I believe the public data that's being withheld from me shows that the police report associated with the citation that I was issued last year was falsified. And so instead of explaining that all to you guys again, I'm just going to go ahead and get right to it and get into my appointment. Unfortunately, the city administrator changed the appointment time from 11 o'clock today. What's up, Crazy Horse? The city administrator changed my appointment time from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. I don't know. It was pretty clear that I made the appointment time for 11 o'clock. I mean, the administrative assistant checked her schedule. Stay calm, let the questions speak for themselves. You got this. All right, buddy. That's all right. We're gonna try to, what these public officials like to do is they like to change the subject. So that's good advice there, Johnny. Stay calm, keep it on subject, and we'll see what happens. Is that Jennifer?
No.
No, okay, thank you. I'm supposed to meet with her at 3, and as you can see from that clock, it's 3 o'clock on the nose. Hello, I'm sorry, is it Tony or she Tony?
I'm Tony.
You're Tony. How's it going? I have an appointment with Jennifer Bergman today at 3. Awesome, thank you. Oh, looks like she's here today, that's good. And going in here, I do try to put myself in their shoes, you know. It'd be kind of nerve-wracking to be the city administrator and have to answer these questions, but at the same time, it would take 10 minutes to get me the original incident report that I asked for. And so that I don't understand. Hello, how's it going? Good. I'm just, how's it going?
Good.
Good. I'm just documenting for my safety.
Come on in.
All right.
Actually, if you want, I could probably, do you want to prop it up here so that
So we don't have to sit there and hold it. That'd be great.
Whatever works for you.
That'd be great.
I'll leave the door open.
You can leave the door open.
Yep.
That's fine. I'm not.
I don't know where you want it.
Okay, I'll
I have a
just.
little stand,
Yeah, that might work. If we flip that upside down, it might.
or else you could maybe put it up here too.
Yeah, that might catch both of us here. Well, we'll see. We can set it right on the desk here. Let's see if we can. You know what? I think this might work here.
Higher.
No, I think I can. Yeah, maybe a little higher.
How about this?
Set her up on there. Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, that might work.
If you want, you can go look behind and see that we're both.
Yeah. Sorry to be messing with this.
No worries.
Oops, here we go. She is so nice. Love it. They say you're nice already. That's interesting for a viewer to. Let's find a different spot for this. Maybe up on this board here.
Sure.
Let's see here, guys.
I just still make it taller.
You know what? I'll just go ahead and hold it just to make sure we get it. It'll only take me one hand to show you this anyway here. And I'll try to keep it out of your face and just kind of put down by the side here. But what I wanted to show you here is, first of all, here's the citation that was issued to me. April 23rd, 2022.
Okay.
And the first thing I'd like you to note on there is the date of the offense. I should have it circled there.
4/23/22.
4/23/22.
Yep.
And the offense location, which I also have circled there.
Washington Street and North 4th.
Yes. So those two pieces of information.
Okay.
Okay. And here's the police report that the police department gave to me. If you see there, if you remember on the original citation, it says date of offense 4/23. And if you read on the report from the officer, it says the incident happened on 4/24. So right away we have a discrepancy with the date. And also the very next alleged fact in the police report says that he was facing southbound on the 900 block of Washington Street when he allegedly saw a cell phone in my hand. And if you look at the citation, it says that the offense happened at 4th and Washington, not the 900 block. So far we have a date that is off and a offense location that is off from the citation. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And so I noticed that. And so I also noticed that the police report or the incident report that they sent me was last modified on 4/25/2022.
Okay.
Okay. And so what I wanted to know was, where is the original police report? Because obviously you can't issue a citation on 4/23 and still have the incident be 4/24. That's just, I mean, the date of the citation 4/23, the date on the report says the incident happened on 4/24. So that's, first of all, not going to be possible.
Okay.
And then of course the discrepancy with the offense location.
So I have 4. So I have 4 discrepancies that you've identified.
Yep.
So one is that this says 4/23/22.
Yep.
And the report says 4/24.
Yes, it's pretty tough to issue a citation on 4/23 if the incident didn't occur until 4/24.
And I'd have to look into it.
Sure. And also it'd be tough to pull me over in the offense location of 4th and Washington when I was traveling west at 30 miles an hour and the officer didn't see me until 4th and Washington. Now he says that he was on the 900 block and so that's what he's saying, but that just doesn't match the citation.
Okay.
And so the very first 2 alleged facts on the police report do not match the citation, the date of the offense and the offense location. The videos, I do believe that the videos were tampered with to match this falsified police report. I believe the police report was falsified on 4/25 and possibly again, or possibly prior to that as well on 4/24, and I'll get to that in a minute. The videos match the falsified police report. However, the videos still do not show any evidence of a crime that I committed. So it's tampered with, yes, but there's still no evidence of a crime on the video. The only evidence of a crime there is here, and it's not even a crime, it's a traffic violation for allegedly initiating an electronic communication, which is not even a crime, it's a traffic violation. The only evidence of that is this modified police report. It doesn't show any of that on the videos. It doesn't show a and also if you listen to the videos, the officer will say, "I saw you looking down the whole time," and on the video it shows the officer parked up behind the west wall of Batteries Plus, tucked up in there,
Okay.
Waiting for speeders to come from the east, and so the whole time was a half a second. But if he was on 4th and Washington pointed north now and saw me coming from the east, now that's another story. Then you could see me the whole time because there's open parking lot to the east of 4th Street in Washington, you know, you can see all the way down to about 6th Street. If you're the first automobile stopped at a red light facing north on 4th, if you look to your right, you can see east as far as about the corner of 6th Street in Washington. So there you can see east for quite a ways. And there it would be possible to have saw me the whole time, as he said. Also on the video, it says he saw me looking down. But on the police report, it gets a little more specific, and it says he saw an object, a small black object appearing to have similar characteristics of a cell phone. Okay? And so if I was looking down, first of all, the only reason I looked down was to activate a hands-free navigation system, which is allowed by the statute. And second of all, there's no way that the officer can see through my dash and door in order to see a cell phone that appeared to have the characteristics of a cell phone in my hand, because I don't think the officer has x-ray vision. And I mean, I make a joke about it. It's not really not funny, but that's the only evidence that I even committed a traffic violation, is the officer's testimony here in the police report.
Okay.
None of the videos or anything shows that.
So the officer issued you a citation. Did you pay the citation? Did you?
Oh, no, I did not pay the citation. In fact, the next day I called Sergeant Palanche. I'm glad you brought that up, because I called Sergeant Palanche the next day, who is Officer Johnson's supervisor.
Okay.
And I explained to him what I talked to him for nearly an hour. It was about 50 minutes. I talked to Sergeant Derek Palanche. And he even admitted that that it sounded circumstantial. And I asked him to rescind the citation. He said he couldn't do it. And I said, well, will the officer rescind it? And he changed the subject. So I'm thinking that he himself can't do it, but the officer probably could have. Well,
I need to follow up with it, so don't quote me on this, but I think then it goes to the city prosecutor.
yes,
Let me
that's
follow
what
up, and
happened.
then
That's what happened.
Did you talk to the prosecutor?
Absolutely. I talked to the
Okay.
prosecutor multiple times. Sergeant Palanche sent me to the city prosecutor.
And which one did you talk to? Do you know?
Yes, Cody Schmidt, Assistant City Attorney Cody Schmidt. And back on the 5th of May, I requested to see the evidence because I wanted to file a motion to dismiss well before arraignment, so that we could get this hashed out before court. I'm still trying to mitigate it. I mean, first I asked them to rescind the citation. They wouldn't do it.
Okay.
So then,
I want to make sure I'm getting everything.
Yep, go
So
ahead.
You talked to Cody Schmidt.
On
At
the 5th.
Stevenson Porter?
yes,
And asked him to,
and asked him for the evidence or a notice of dismissal, one of the two.
okay,
And he said he would call me back next week,
okay.
the following week, which would have been the week of like 5/12.
And that was on May 5th?
May 5th that I
Okay.
talked to him, yep. And I didn't hear from him the next week or the following week, so finally about the 3rd week, I tried calling him back. And all of a sudden he's MIA. Can't get a hold of the guy. I tried 3-4 times over the next couple of weeks, couldn't get a hold of the guy. And kept getting pushed off by the administrative assistant over there, or the legal assistant over there. And finally I got a little frustrated and I asked for his supervisor, Kurt Porter. And that was on June 6th that I finally asked for, because I had not received any of the evidence or a notice of dismissal, and my arraignment was coming up on the 5th of July. Does that make sense? I'm getting kind of nervous now, because the prosecutor's not calling me back, and you know what I mean? This charge is still, as far as I know, they're still wanting to prosecute it, you know what I mean? So I'm getting kind of nervous. And I got a little nervous and frustrated and asked for the city attorney, Kurt Porter, which is Cody Schmidt's supervisor, and within minutes, I'm talking within 2 to 5 minutes, Cody Schmidt called me back on the 6th of June
Okay,
and said that my case had been dismissed.
okay.
So finally, after finally he finally got back a hold of me and said my case was dismissed. And actually here, if you want that, is a notice of my dismissal.
Perfect, okay,
Got that?
yeah,
So there you go.
okay.
Oh, that's against this one. I'm sorry, I can't read the comments right now, guys. She's taking her time to talk to me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and talk to her, but I appreciate the comments. Thanks for tuning in. We're live, by the way.
That's fine.
I just do it for documentation purposes. So there's a notice of dismissal. However, I still hadn't received any of the evidence, and I did not get that notice of dismissal. I had to go back in on June 22nd and get that from them, because they never sent it to me. I asked for the evidence or a notice of dismissal. So it's getting to be June 22nd, still don't have a notice of dismissal in my hand. Now I'm really getting nervous because my arraignment's coming up in 2 weeks, and they told me it was dropped, but you never can be too sure with these prosecutors. You know, pull the old tell you it's dropped and have no record of them telling you, and all of a
So,
sudden
I'm sorry, I wanna go back. You said you got the notice of dismissal
I
on the
had,
22nd?
on the 22nd, I finally went in and got it.
Okay. Okay,
And if you want to back up to the 6th or the 7th of June, after I found out that my case was dropped, I called Lieutenant Calzer because I had already spoken with Sergeant Blanche. And so I believe it was the 6th, it was possibly the 7th. It was either the 6th or the 7th of June. I spoke with Mike Calzer, and he said that he would call me right back. He'd talk to the officer and call me right back. And that's when I found out that the officer's story is different than what I remember. Is not until the 6th or the 7th of June, which is 6 weeks after the citation was issued, you know? And so that's when I finally found that out. And I became upset. I said, I'm gonna be in to file a complaint. And I hung up the phone, and it took me a couple weeks to gain the courage to go in there and request a notice of a copy of my notice of dismissal, and to make a public data request for the police report and the dash and body cam. Well, when I got the police report and the dash and body cam back, which would have been towards the end of June, I don't know the exact date. I think I got the dash and the dash cam and the police report like the 27th, 28th, 29th, something like that. And I had to go in and show my ID and make a subject request for the body cam. And when I got those back, my jaw just about hit the floor, Jennifer. I saw that the police report was falsified and the dash and body cams were tampered with to, you know, different date, different offense location, you know. And that's not really my main concern. My main concern is that I believe that this offer, what happens when you're issued a citation is it's issued in lieu of arrest, okay? So if you have an offense, sometimes they issue a citation in lieu of arrest. And I guess one of these petty traffic violations might, you know, they're not gonna arrest you for that, you know, you wouldn't hope, you know. And so they issued a citation in lieu of that. Well, still you need probable cause or some kind of evidence to show that there was a crime committed. And there is none. And so, and even after they tampered with the dash and body cams, there still isn't any. The only evidence there is this statement on this police report, which was modified 425, a day after I talked to Sergeant Blanche for almost an hour. So you can just about imagine what happened. Old Blanche went back and talked to Johnson and said, hey, should we rescind this thing or should we doctor it up a little bit? You know, they call it doctoring. I call it falsifying, but they call it doctoring. And I guess they went the latter route, you know? And so this whole time I'm trying to mitigate damages. I'm like, please rescind the citation. No, okay. Well, please, you know, and I filed a complaint against this officer back in, I believe it was the 5th of July.
and it was Officer
Bryce Johnson. And I gave them enough information to kill 3 horses. I mean, everything was there. And it came back on July 8th unsustained.
I'm sorry, what date did you file it?
5th of July. 7-5.
7/5?
Yep,
Okay. Of 22?
of 22.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And it came back unsustained on 7/8, 3 days later. That was discouraging. So, you know, I have 2 other jobs, you know what I mean? So I can't be investigating this 24 hours a day, you know what I mean? I have other work to do. And so, and I was, at this point, I'm a little bit scared because it appears that an officer can just issue a citation whenever. And the problem I'm having is one of my businesses, I'm a driver. I'm a commercial driver, okay? If this cell phone ticket would have stuck, if I would have been convicted of this, what is that, 6 points on your record in Minnesota, on your driving record? No one is going to contract with you as a driver. with a cell phone ticket on your record. And so not only do I lose my job, it's just in time for my insurance premiums to triple. You know what I mean? It would have financially ruined me. And I can imagine that I'm not the only one that this happens to, you know? So that's why I'm sitting here 14 months later talking to you. I tried to get it squared away through internal affairs and John Davis, and he just brushes it under the rug, sweeps it under the rug. Well, now all of a sudden he's got a big old lump in the rug, you know? He can't explain this.
So, I'm trying to kind of summarize this.
Okay,
And then, so you were issued a citation.
Yep.
You fought the citation.
yep,
It was dismissed.
yep.
You have concerns about the differences in the citation and in the incident report?
Well, my main concern is that the citation was issued without probable cause. That's my main concern. Secondary concern is, yes, the citation, the police report doesn't match the citation. And so I made a public data request
Okay.
for the,
Hang on, I'm
yep,
gonna just make sure I'm getting,
yep, no problem. And I do appreciate you taking the time to
Sure.
at least try to understand this from my perspective. This is more than any public official has done for me in 14 months. So I appreciate that.
sure. Okay, information or. data
And
report?
yes, I made a data request for, and this wasn't until, all right, I finally gained a little more courage to go in there and see if I can do a little more digging. This is not until 6/23, and I'm sorry, this was this year. This data request was from this year.
Oh, you put down the wrong date.
Yes, I put it there on the wrong date. This data
Okay.
request is from this year.
Oh.
So just on this past June, 6/23/2022, or 23, I'm sorry, I made a data request for the original incident report.
So
And
that date says
look,
2022?
received June 22, 2023.
Okay.
So I actually, I kept on thinking about the date of the incident, you know what I mean? So it was actually submitted on June 23rd, 2023.
That
And
happens
yep,
sometimes.
yep, and
People get dates mixed up.
and I asked for the original incident report, and do you know what I was sent? I was sent a copy, word for word, the same as the incident report they already sent me that said it was modified on 4/25. They sent me a copy of that word for word and dated it 4/24. Still says it was last modified by Bryce Johnson on 4/24. So
Yeah,
it says the
I'd like to
same.
bring, I would like to talk to Chief Davis about this. One thing that I understand about our software is, so this was, there are different levels. So this was the officer's supplemental report, but then usually our lieutenant will review the ICR, and that automatically changes that to last modified. So
Okay.
the officer will do the report, and then the lieutenant will review the report. So this is just my guess,
Sure,
and I
sure.
can confirm with
And-
the chief.
and that-
So
that
I'll
I-
just finish.
Okay,
So I'll confirm with the chief,
Sure.
that I may be able to explain.
Okay.
So it could be that Officer Johnson did the report on 2024,
Mm-hmm.
and then Lieutenant Calzer reviewed it
sure.
on 2025.
Sure.
So, and I can confirm
Sure,
that.
but now this, what they just handed me after the data request, says it was last modified by Bryce Johnson, and the date on this is 4/24.
Okay,
So this was modified by Bryce Johnson, and this is the modified version on 4/24 because it says it was already modified by Bryce Johnson.
okay.
So what I'm wondering is, this report, it says it was reported on 4/23. And so I'm just wondering where the heck the report is from 4/23. You know, we have a modified report, we have a report on 4/25 that said it was last modified on 4/25. We go back and look on 4/24, and we have the same exact report that also says it was last modified by Bryce Johnson on 4/24. So what my question is, because I asked for the original report, the original incident report, is from what was this modified? From what was it modified? So there should be another report over here that it was modified to this. You know what I mean, on 4/24.
I hear what you're saying.
And so where is that original report is what I'm wanting to know.
Okay.
That's all I'm here for.
All right,
Is that
so-
original report.
So the only thing you're asking from me
Is for the
is
original.
the original
The
report.
original
from
report. That is
Okay.
all. That is
right.
all I'm asking.
Well, I will reach out to the police department.
Yep.
and
I don't wanna, there are.
Can I take
Absolutely. I have copies of all those. You
copies?
can
Oh,
have.
this is just for me?
You can have all that.
This
Yep.
too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I got copies of all that, so you can
Perfect.
have all that for your reference. And that is, I mean, there's other issues that I have to deal with you about, but I don't wanna complicate stuff, you know what I mean? Right now, all I want is the original incident report.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
But I don't have that here.
I know
in
you
my
don't.
office,
I know you don't.
And I don't know. I'm gonna have to follow up with the police department.
Uh-huh.
But I will get back to you.
Uh-huh.
Can I get a phone number?
Yes.
You might not want it to be alive
Yes,
on there.
and I actually gave you my phone number last time we talked on the phone.
Okay.
I can write it, can I write it down on
You
there?
bet.
So that they don't, and that's another thing too, Chief Davis was just doxing the living crap out of me on my live stream, you know, I appreciate you didn't do that, you know what I mean? You didn't dox me, you didn't say my name and paste it all over the live stream, you know what I mean? He did. I didn't really appreciate that too much. You know what I mean? And so it'd kind of be like me going up to a undercover investigator who's, you know what I mean, investigating something, and like saying his name and say, hey, how's it going, Officer John Doe? You know what I mean? It's just not. I don't think it's illegal, but it's just not very nice. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you not doing that. Is there anything, I mean,
Nope.
this
What
make.
I am
Yep.
hearing from you,
Yep.
you are just asking why you want the original report.
Yes,
Or
that's-
you would like to know why this says last modified.
Yep, on 4/24.
Yep.
And so I got them.
And again,
Yep.
you've dealt with softwares
Y-
before,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, sometimes softwares can box us in. So I don't know. These are questions I'll ask.
Mm-hmm.
It was created by Bryce on 4/24, or was it created by Bryce on or Officer Johnson on 4/23, or was it on 4/24?
Right,
I don't know
that's
that.
what I'm trying
And
to.
it could be that
Yep.
it was created on 4/24,
It could be.
but it was
Sometimes.
created and last modified are
Yeah,
the same dates. I don't
sometimes,
know the answer.
sometimes they might wait until the next day to, but here's the
And we
thing.
know the citation is on the 23rd, and kind of like
Yep,
your,
yep.
you know, whoopsie, you accidentally put down the 2022.
Yes, but the rest of my
It very
infor-
well could be
but
that
y-
Officer Johnson
Yep.
just accidentally
He put down 4/24.
He might have put,
Right.
just like you did.
Right,
I
right,
mean, 'cause
yep.
we're
I
human
understand
and we all make
if that's all it was,
And it may be,
if
but I
that's,
don't know. Mm-hmm.
if that's all it was the date, I wouldn't be so skeptical or suspicious, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But it's not just the date, now all of a sudden the offense location changed as well. You know what I mean? So nothing changed on mine, it still says received June 23rd, I'm still
Mm-hmm.
requesting the same information, I just simply screwed up the date.
Sure.
Where here, it's not just a simple date screw up, it's also all of a sudden the offense location changed. You know what I mean? All of a sudden the offense location changed as well as the date. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden the video doesn't show it, but all of a sudden the police report says there's a small black object in my hand that appears to be a cell phone. You know what I mean? So it's more than just the date might have got screwed up. Does that make sense?
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, so
And I don't know
it's-
the answer.
yep.
Because I wasn't there.
If it was just the date, I wouldn't be concerned about it. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even be here right now probably if it was just the date. You know what I mean? But the fact that it's the date and the offense location and the made-up eyewitness testimony that he's seen a small black object in my hand that appeared to be a cell phone. I mean, obviously Sergeant Palanche knew that that wasn't gonna fly. You know what I mean? So when I talked to him the next day, you know, and so that's my concern is it's more than just a date screw up. I just screwed up the date. There's nothing else screwed up on my stuff. My story has been the same since day one for 14 months. The officer's story has been last modified and then last modified before that and then last modified before that, and there's nothing on the 23rd showing anything. You know, it says reported 4/23. How was it received by phone? You know what I mean? So obviously he phoned in some kind of report or you know what I mean, here on the 23rd. So there's gonna be some record of this. There's gonna be some record of this.
I can write on this.
Yes, it's yours. Yep, it's yours. There's got to be some kind of record of that. And so that's all I'm looking for is the original report.
Okay,
Yep,
well, I got your number.
okay,
I have this information,
okay.
and I will follow
I just
up
want to
with
see while we have you, because it's difficult to get you. Again, thank you. Hey, any of my viewers got any questions for Jennifer Bergman, the city administrator? Did I miss? How can he, the witness, and issue the citation? Well, he says, Crazy Horse Lady, that he saw a cell phone in my hand. And so that's what he's saying. So any other questions before I wrap up this live? Because I don't want to take too much of Miss Bergman's time. Mrs. Bergman, I don't know what you go by, Mrs. Bergman. And so it doesn't look like it right now. Documented check, Johnny. Okay, cool. Looks like we should be good. So if you could get back to me on that, that'd be fabulous.
I certainly will.
Is everything clear? Do you need any clarification from me?
I do not.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you for taking your time. I do much appreciate it. And I'm trying to remain, this is very frustrating. I've been having to deal with this 14 months now. It's very frustrating. It's very, and even my viewers say you've been great. They don't usually say that about public officials, you know? So it's been very frustrating and actually scary that, that this kind of thing can happen, especially when it puts our livelihood at risk like this, you know? And so I have a hard time. I mean, if it would have been just the next day and they said, oh, yep, but guess we don't have any evidence, we'll rescind the citation. Nothing, that's it. So nothing would have happened. You know what I'm saying? Or if I had gotten the police report back and the videos and they match what I remember to have happened, or they match the citation, then that's it. Officer made a mistake, no big deal. You know what I mean?
And
But
it's hard for me to say because I wasn't there and I don't have the information.
Yep,
I
well-
like to tell people, you know, that often there are two sides to every story.
There is.
And so it's always good to find out both sides.
There is. And
I'll grab the door for you.
Yep, mistakes I can handle, but when it's willful.
And we are human,
Yep,
and we do
yep,
make them.
yep, and
As we all do.
mistakes are no problem. I can handle those. It's
Yep.
just the willful acts that you know I'm concerned with. So,
I will give you a call.
okay, thank you.
Thanks. You have
You
a
bet.
great day.
Yep, bye.
Bye now.
Well, there you have it, folks. 14 in the live, 13 likes. Gotta like it. That is everything. That is the farthest I've ever got with a public official. Wow. Parks and Rec, I'm not even gonna mess with them today. I just want that original report. What do you guys think? That's a wrap. You did great, brother. Thanks, Crazy Horse Lady. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys joining today. The meeting got switched from 11 to 3, so I was kind of concerned that would people would be looking for me at 11 and here at 11 this morning, and she changed the meeting like Saturday, I think she did. Yes, get the original. She changed the meeting time to 3 today, so I was concerned that would. There's Tom. How's it going, Tom? I was concerned that would make it so I didn't have as many people watching this live at 3 o'clock as I would have had at 11. But that's all right. We still got a few people in here, and I appreciate all 14 of you. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and end the live. Sometimes I'll go ahead and take a spin through the city with my camera up on my dash, but it never stays there. And all I'm doing is collecting dead air of the sky. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the live off. I'll be ready to go static if anything else pops up here on my way out of here. But otherwise, we'll check you next time. Thanks for joining in. Remember to hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. Appreciate you all. We'll see you next time.